Chase Young out of The Ohio State University, in my opinion, is the best player coming out into this NFL draft. I know the Bengals will most likely, with their #1 pick, go after Joe Burrow, a quarterback, which they need, and the New York Giants, projected to fall at #2, will ultimately land Chase Young. Now, for the Giants, they've got a great quarterback. They got Daniel Jones last year. Now it's time to bulk up that defensive side of the ball, and I think Young is the guy to do it for them. Off the edge, I love his get off. He has a great first step. Sometimes I think he tends to get a little bit high, and I think that can be corrected with time, of course, but that power and that speed that he has off the edge oftentimes puts offensive tackles on their heels, and he can just use his hands, which he does very, very well. You'll see throughout this highlights the usage of his hands, and a lot of time problems with defensive linemen that I think they let the offensive linemen get too much into their body. But Chase Young does a great job and has been coached well at Ohio State to use his hand and not let them offensive linemen get him dirty. He has a great nose for the football and an incredible motor. He has a high motor every play. It seems like he's going 110%, and that's what you want to see in a guy that you're going to be drafting high, and that's going to be a real pivotal part of your defense. Getting to the quarterback is something that the New York Giants need. Not a lot of production from their defensive line this past season, so if they're able to grab this kid, I think they become a better team. Their defense gets better, and they have a chance to perform a lot better than they did this past season in the NFC East. A few things that I liked about Chase Young. Been watching this guy since high school. He was actually coached in high school by a teammate of ours at Illinois, Ian Thomas, and Ian talked real highly of this guy, and it's obvious why. You see his build, 6'5", 265. He comes off the edge looking for contact. He looks to get to the quarterback. He doesn't stop until he gets to the quarterback. A lot of times we see offensives try to double team him with a running back and a lineman, or sometimes even two linemen, and that still can't stop him. He does a great job twisting and doing different kind of techniques in the Ohio State defense, and I think he'll be a 4-3 defensive end, but I don't think he'll have a problem standing up in the league neither. I think if they need him to stand up and cover, I think he has the athletic ability to do so. Chase Young is just a different kid, playing behind Nick Bosa in Ohio State. Once Bosa got hurt as a sophomore, Young was able to step up and show how actually disruptive he could be, and he took full advantage of it. And this past season, he just blasted onto the scene, being named a Heisman finalist and continuing to produce and just have a lot of great production. Now, some of his weaknesses, not really a lot of weaknesses in his game, but just some things he can do better. I think he can get some better combinations. Like I said, he's great with using his hands, but in the NFL, you're going to see guys who've been in the league going to go up against guys who've been in the league for a while, and they've really seen a lot of defensive linemen with some great moves. So you got to get better there. And I think he has to get a little stronger when it comes to playing the run. He's got to get his strength up and be able to really press those gaps. But all in all, I love everything I see on film about this guy. I love his motor. I love the way he gets to the quarterback. He looks to strip the ball if he can. He looks to create turnovers, and he's a great leader. You can tell Ohio State, that defense fed off of him, off of his energy, and that's what you want in a guy. If you're going to draft him #2 overall, I think he's the best pass rusher since Nick Bosa to come out into the NFL draft, and I think he's going to have that same type of production, possibly defensive rookie of the year if he stays healthy. I think the New York Giants has to pull the trigger on this guy. I think he's going to come in and be a great asset to a team. Now, entering this draft, Chase Young really, in my opinion, could have been the #1 overall pick. But like we said, the Bengals didn't need a defensive end. But this guy's explosive. He has great hands. He's what you want in an edge rusher. He has a lot of speed. He's going to be a great player in the NFL, and I like everything I see on film about this guy. But as always, guys, we want to hear your opinion. I think Chase Young won't have a problem being a great NFL pass rusher. I think he'll transition to the league really well. If I had to compare it to anybody, I would compare him to not really Myles Garrett or Jadeveon Clowney, more of a Julius Pepper type deal. Julius Peppers was a little bit bigger, a little bit more lankier, but their use of hands and able to transfer that speed and dip and rip and come off the edge and dip that shoulder and get to the quarterback is a lot of the same. I do think Young has a higher motor than Julius Peppers did for sure, but don't want to compare him to a Hall of Famer just yet. But I will say Chase Young is going to be a great NFL player and just another player from the long line of great Ohio State players to transition into the NFL and have great careers. As always, guys, we want to hear what you think. Leave your comments underneath this one. Tell us what you think about Chase. Do you think he's going to be a bust? Do you think he's going to go to the NFL and just dominate as a future Hall of Famer? Let's talk about it. Leave your comments underneath, like I said, and make sure to check out our other videos that we have here on some of the guys entering the 2020 NFL Draft.